things I haven't talked a lot about recently is the actual writing process of my book about Berkeley. And I've been working on the help section. So my book is structured in that it just tells Berkeley's life story and the fun things and some of the touching things that have happened. But then at the end of each chapter, I have a little section that I call a help section, and it's for the families and for the friends and acquaintances of the families. And it's a list of practical do's and don'ts and advice on how to navigate through some of the different tough things that we've navigated through with Berkeley. So my goal is to share Berkeley's story, which is wonderful, but also to be a real help to people and answer some of the questions that they have and might be afraid to ask out loud. So sometimes when I'm writing, I just have to sit and ponder. And I was thinking the other day, what kinds of questions do people ask and how can I answer them? And the first thing that popped into my head was the question, at what age does Berkeley function? And I have to tell you, this is not my favorite question to answer. It's not offensive in any way. It's just really tough to answer because Berkeley doesn't function at any one level. Due to his hearing loss, his verbal skills are very poor. But he's also extremely capable. He makes his own lunch every day. He can split wood. He, if he's at church and the pastor calls out a passage of scripture, he can find it in his Bible, but he can't sit down and read a book. So sometimes you would think, well, if he can do this, why can't he do that? I remember way back in the day when VCRs first came out and they were so difficult to use. Remember, you'd spend hours and hours trying to teach your grandma how to use them and she'd never get it. Berkeley got it in a snap, and it was something I struggled with. So if I needed to make sure that a show was recorded, I'd have to ask Berkeley to record it for me so I'd be sure to be able to watch it. So that's one of those questions that if you ask somebody, they're going to take a minute to answer. I always welcome it because I welcome dialogue about Berkeley and giving people glimpses into his life and wanting people to understand who he is and what his life is like. And I hope that you'll get that from my book. If you haven't already done so, I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Laura Shares. You can also find me on Instagram at Laura_shares. I hope you have a great week.